Hey everybody, it's Chris Creary here from business.chriscreary.com, and I'm grateful that you took time out of your day to watch this video. I'm hoping that you'll be able to learn something. As always, I'm here to help you think and talk about how you manage your money and your business, thinking about the economy and what's going on, and thinking about your thinking. Because if we can think differently, we can make better decisions. We make better decisions, we can come out better in the end. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to think and talk about time management. And this is specifically for people who have full-time jobs and people who have side business and other passion projects that they could be working on all at the same time. All of these things work together and they compete and fight for your time on a regular basis. And I didn't even mention your personal obligations or your family life. All of these things, you need to be a clown almost to be able to learn how to juggle and manage all these balls without them falling on the ground. But today I'm going to tell you how I do it, and hopefully you'll be able to learn something so that you can manage your time better. And just to put this in proper perspective, I do a lot of things. I'm a husband, a father, I have a full-time job, I have a side business, I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, I have a blog, and I have other passion projects that I do on the go throughout the course of the year. But all of these things put together, there's people that have even asked me if I have a clone or if I have someone else working for me. No, I do all of this myself because I have mastered 3 things that I want to share with you, and hopefully you'll be able to implement and do these 3 things, and these 3 things will be beneficial to you as you learn how to manage your time a little bit better. So we're going to go into those 3 things right now. Number 1 is you have to remove things from your daily schedule. Things that don't belong. The average American spends 28 hours a week watching television. That's sitting down in front of a TV watching television, about 4 hours a day. Now if you look at it, that's 4 hours that is taken away from you doing other things that could be more productive, or things that can help you either start your business or finish that project that you've been working on. That's 28 hours in a week. That's so much time that you can put towards doing something else that is more productive. I'm not saying cut TV out of your schedule altogether. I'm just saying scale it back a lot so that you can get something productive done. Still make time in your schedule to relax and unwind and watch a movie here and there. And the other thing that a lot of people do is play video games. The average person in a week plays about 7 hours of video games. Now I know a lot of people don't play video games, but there are a few people that do spend hours and hours and hours a day or a week just sitting in front again of a TV playing video games. And these are things, now I understand that these are just recreational things, but we need to know in our hearts when we need to draw a line and have a limit and say, now I need to do something productive. And the other thing that people do that they need to remove is they sleep too much. Now, as you know, I'm a Christian, and there's a Bible verse in Proverbs 24, verse 33. It says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will creep up on you like an armed bandit. And what that's basically saying is the more time that you spend sleeping, the more time that you spend closing your eyes and not putting your hands to do some good quality work, you're going to eventually run into a time when you are hitting poverty. You're going to run into a moment where you are not being productive and you don't have any resources to sustain your life. So do not sleep too much. I know sleep is important. I'm not saying stay up all night because you need to have your 7 hours of sleep every single night, but manage your time. Don't sleep 10 hours a day in the night and then take a nap for 2 hours again. That's 12 hours of your day that's spent sleeping. A regular normal person doesn't need to spend 12 hours a day sleeping. Discipline yourself enough to stay awake and do something productive. What I've found out is even if you are tired, when you start to engage your mind and when you become passionate about something, when your mind is engaged, that tiredness that you may feel will go away. So find something that is engaging, that gets your mind going, and when you start to pursue and do those things, you will feel that you will not get tired. Now, the next thing that you can do to manage your time better is shift and focus your activities that you do every single day. And what I do is I shift the activities, or I focus on activities that require more of my mental capacity or my brain to those periods of time. An example, when I need to think about new ideas or anything creative that I need to write or create, or ideas about some sort of project that I'm working on, I usually shift the time that I'm going to do that to the mornings. What it does is usually I'm up before my entire household, my family is still sleeping. It gives me quality, focused, uninterrupted time that I have to set my mind where the house is quiet. I can go down in my room, do some studying, and knock out some creative work to accomplish some things for whatever task that I'm shifting during that morning time. That's when I get most of my work done, in the morning before anyone else wakes up. Even outside, it's nice and quiet. You're not going to hear any cars passing by on the road because most of the times people are still sleeping. And the other thing that you can do is plan your day in advance. It's very, very important to plan your day in advance. And you could try this tomorrow and you tell me if it doesn't work. Before you go to sleep tonight, write down a list of the 3 things that you plan on getting done tomorrow. And when you wake up in the morning, start to attack that to-do list. Attack those 3 things that you're going to do and start at it early in the morning. Again, I found out that when you wake up a little bit earlier, your mind is more alert and receptive, and you're more creative, and you're able to focus more. You have more mental energy to focus on the things that need to be accomplished. So write down a list of 3 things that you're going to do the next day before you go to sleep the night before. And then when you wake up the next morning, start to attack those things. Wake up early in the morning and attack those things off your list. Okay? So that's number 2. Shift things around so that you can focus on them better. And number 3 is optimize certain tasks that you have to do in your life. Now, as you know, there are certain things that you have to do, and it requires a lot of mental energy that you need to focus, you need to think, you need to read, you need to understand. And there's other things that you do that you don't need to spend any active attention on doing. So what I like to do is I like to put the 2 together, so to speak. Here's how it works, and here's an example from my life. When I'm driving either to or from work, or to see a client, or here or there, whatever, if I'm in the car, that's the best time that I have to actually make calls and call back people who left voicemails for me. Why? Because as I'm driving, time is passing. Now, most of the times when I'm driving somewhere, I'm not paying active attention. I might just be listening to the GPS as it's telling me where to go. But most of the times I know where I'm going, so I don't need to pay active attention when I'm driving. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm closing my eyes or I'm looking at my phone. I'm paying attention to the road, but my mental energy can be used to make phone calls and have conversations with people to become more productive. For example, if a client calls me and says that they leave a voicemail for me and they said they want to call me back to talk about a project or to talk about something they want me to do for them, I can take that call while driving and still have a conversation with them and put all of my mental energy into that conversation, yet still focus on the road and drive as I'm going. So therefore, I'm optimizing that time that I'm having on the road by driving to my next appointment and also having a conversation with somebody on the phone. And what I like to do also is group like tasks together. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have a podcast and it's called the Faith Fight Podcast. You should go check it out. It's a Christian podcast, and the way that thing started was kind of funny because it started out of my daily devotionals. I have devotionals by myself every single morning where I study a passage of scripture and I journal and make some notes about it. Those notes that I make from my daily devotionals turn into my blog posts and also turn into my podcast episodes. So out of my daily devotional, I'm doing my daily devotionals, which is something all Christians should do. But out of my daily devotionals, I'm coming up with blog posts and I'm also coming up with podcast episodes. All of my notes for my podcast, it all comes out of my daily devotionals that I do every single morning. So I group the tasks together instead of having them separate, recording a podcast, writing blog posts, and my daily devotionals. I do my daily devotionals, and I make notes from my daily devotionals, and I expand them and use them as my blog post, and I also make notes and record them for my podcast. That's how I group certain like tasks together to optimize my time so that I can get more things done, because I realize that those things are similar. Some of the things that I'm doing there are similar, and I group them together. And the last thing that I'm going to suggest that you do with regards to optimizing your task is use your smartphone. Make it smart. Now, a lot of people don't realize how powerful our smartphones actually are. There are so much apps that you can get to help you be more productive, to help you accomplish more tasks, and just to help you do things while you're on the phone so that you don't need to be behind the computer. For example, I edited video for a YouTube video that I did on my cell phone, so I didn't need to be on my laptop at home or on my desktop computer at home editing that video. Your smartphone, if you use it properly and get the right tools and apps on your smartphone, it can make your life so much easier and help you accomplish so much more. So by using your smartphone, you don't have to be home on your desktop computer. You can be out on the road, you could be at your work in your office, and during your lunch break, you can go into the cafeteria. You can type up a blog post on your smartphone and publish it to your blog on your lunch break without having to use a desktop computer. It's amazing. So I say all of that just to say this. There are 24 hours in a day. The difference between the people who get things done and the people who don't is how they manage your time. You have an obligation to manage your time like a good steward. God has given us every single day. We need to make sure that we use our time wisely and use it to do things that are productive. And remember, I said rest and relaxation and TV and playing video games is important, but you need to have a limit. Now, if you do carve out some extra time in your daily schedule, I have a 1-month business challenge. You can come up with your new business by putting in about an hour's worth of work every single day, and I give you a step-by-step checklist that you can follow every single day in order to generate your first $500 of money from your business after the first month. There's a link in the description that you can click on and get the PDF, and you can start that 1-month business challenge. I hope this video was encouraging. I have other videos that you can listen to that can be encouraging as well. They're up on the screen. You can click on them. That's all I got to say. Be blessed. Go out and make something great happen today, and I'll see you on the next video. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can get my next video. Peace.